Okay, so good day to anyone who's watching us, and welcome to the Feathers and Functions podcast. This this is a podcast by the engineers in Grey Parrot IO Limited. So Grey Parrot is a company that builds software for businesses, and as engineers, usually do you hear engineers in companies talking about things that relate to engineers. As engineers who have gone through schooling, and then also that's formal training in that regard, and also practical training in the line of our work. I feel that it's good to also share our thoughts with others who might be in school, who might want to be engineers, having questions. So every week, something, not every week, we will take a topic that relates to engineers, and then we'll talk about it from the engineer's perspective. Yeah. So with that said, welcome to our first episode of Feathers and Functions. Just your name, you don't need to worry about positions and those things. Right?
So I'm Abentis Arapia.
My name is Matia.
I am Adaku Prince.
And I am Nathaniel Aja.
Okay. So the introductions out of the way, our topic for today is engineers and dressing. Engineers and dressing. Now,
topic way.
we are looking at it from the software engineer's perspective. So there are civil engineers, there are other engineers, mechanical, chemical, but we are looking at it from software engineers. And that's because, well, at least for some of us, we grew up with the notion of a software engineer being someone in some khaki shorts, tank top or t-shirt, sleeveless t-shirt, in his father or mother's basement, typing on a screen that is black with some green letters. And that's what a software engineer looks like. Yes.
Retro coding.
But we want to tackle that view or that perspective of where a software engineer is. And the question is, how should engineers dress? So anyone, we are just having a conversation.
I'm going to start.
No, you start.
Okay, so me, one thing I've come to realize is that first impression really matters. And when I'm going for an interview or when I'm meeting someone for the first time, they would love to be respected, even though they would like to know who you actually are through your dressing. That is your lifestyle. Are you a reggae person? So if you come across as too respectful, it X them out. If you come across as too free, it also X them out. So you have to be somewhere in the middle. So I think dressing is one way that can establish that balance. Yeah, if you are meeting that person for the first time and you are dressed appropriately, it can establish that balance between you feeling free and showing respect. That's where I'm coming from.
I also agree with Adaku. I realized this when I changed my dress. Whenever we close it and I'm going home, the students nearby, they greet me with, like, I'm a bank manager or some sort. Yeah, and then, if you are wearing a Lacoste or any other casual wear, and then you're walking across the streets, it's like you look normal with the rest of the bunch. But if you are, in like a proper suit or something like that, then people look at you differently. I think I told Nat and Adako when I went to buy watch, and then the old man told me that, he got to my tent, the old man told me that the rubber is finished. It's left with only pack. I said, okay, cool, I bought it. Chicken is how much? She said 10 cedis. The chicken was small, fish 10 cedis. I bought the egg like that. After I finished buying, the next man came, he took in rubber. So I look at myself like, was it because of my dressing? I realized that, yeah, so the way you dress also, contributes to how people perceive you.
I also think the environment you find yourself can influence the way you dress. Like in a case where you're going for a wedding, that's the occasion, so you need to dress to match the occasion. So if you find yourself in, for example, Grey Parrot, where our line of business is with banks, I believe that you need to dress to suit that occasion. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, it does.
Yeah.
But I also think that the way you dress to work also depends on the policy of the company. So if the company you work for has policies on dressing, then since you work for the company, you have to abide by the policies. But if there is no policy on dressing, I believe that you can wear anything you want, but I mean they should be appropriate for work. Yeah, so it also depends on the policies that the company has.
Okay, me to summarize, I'll say that it depends on the policy. You should look respectable, but you see, there's something. And so I decided to do some searches. I checked Satya, the CEO of Microsoft, Nadella, Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, Bezos, CEO of Amazon, and all these people met Trump. In their conferences, in their talks, sometimes wear t-shirts, jacket, but when all of them met Trump, everybody was in a suit, white shirt and tie. So there is a way you meet somebody. The way you present yourself to somebody shows how you are taking that meeting or that engagement to be. If maybe I were at home, I will not dress like this. But then if you come to work, you should. And because you don't know when somebody will meet you.
Yeah.
Like we get examples, people meet you on the way, or someone might come to visit your office. So I'll say to the engineers out there, we like our shorts, we like our t-shirt. But try and get some shirts with some trousers, some nice shoes, some good shoes with socks, and then look presentable. Because I take those meetings, those CEOs I'm talking about, they had with Trump. He's someone who can influence their company. The people they present to, they want to not to look too big to those people when they do their conferences, so they might dress down to meet. But when they have board meetings, when they have serious meetings, I'm not sure they're going there in shorts and t-shirts. Yeah, so we should do all to make sure that we dress properly. Yeah.
Someone can argue that the dressing doesn't bring them the money, so what doesn't matter, like?
But I also have a question though. Does the way you dress to work, do you believe the way you dress to work impacts your productivity?
That question too.
I would say yes, it impacts your productivity. And I'll give you an example. So there was a client we met some years ago, and we were continuing a project that someone had started. That person was a t-shirt and trousers or t-shirt and shorts person. The first day we met that person, we had not written a line of code for that person to test and see that it works. The person met us and said, between you guys, I trust you guys. And that day, we who went were all in suits. The person and her colleague were also in suits. We met, and just the person hasn't seen our car, the person doesn't know if we picked Trotsky, the person doesn't know what we ate before coming, the person doesn't know the tribe we are in, the person says I trust you. It's just the way you look. And when we went into that organization, they sometimes were a bit shocked that we are colleagues with that person, because that person started, couldn't finish, so we came in to help the person continue. So they assume we are colleagues and we know each other. But they were surprised that you work with this person. Are you sure? And that person, whenever he comes, he's in t-shirt and his jeans, or his t-shirt and his trousers or shorts, and he feels good with it. And so you see the clear difference. So now, continuing about productivity, when you're looking professional like that, and you tell someone, I need ABC, they'll give you a professional response time. As opposed to someone who is looking professional and says, I need ABC. They might say, you're even supposed to be here. There might be other questions that will come in their mind. And that's one thing my boss taught me about dressing. I used to fight with him when I started, because I said, we should dress like Zuckerberg and the others. And I said, well, what is the use in wearing a piece of clothing that when you enter into a room, now everybody, in addition to whatever thing they are thinking about your dress. If you are all wearing suits, nobody's distracted. People just look at faces and continue what they are doing. But if you go into a room with suits, or shirt and trousers, nice shoes, and someone is there in shorts, in addition to what you are thinking about, you're asking yourself, what is somebody in shorts doing in this meeting? Yeah, so I'll say it's affects your productivity. Yeah, I'll say it's affects your productivity.
So, is it really about dressing, or would you consider, haircuts and the
Facial hair.
yeah, and all that. What do you think?
No, the people with facial hair here, they can tell us.
So maybe for facial hair. So which one does that? Here or here? So I also think it also plays a role. How do I say it? People prefer a cleaner look. That is kempt hair. Maybe we are going for waves. Good, the waves are clean. If you are going for a clean, maybe clean fade, it has to be clean. And for the beard aspect, it doesn't have to look sharp. Some people have a lot of beard, but it looks kempt. So I mean, I've also been fighting that battle a lot. Taking care of your facial hair is not for the weak. I mean, it has to go to a certain point, or your hair has to be a certain style for it to come out nice. Some people they are naturally talented. Their beard grows fine. They'll just brush it, then it sticks for the rest of the day. But if you have any tips, you can reach out to us to help us manage some of our facial hair.
I do have a question though. So does my unkept beard or my untrimmed hair or my dressing do affect my productivity in terms of the line of code that I write?
So me, I'll jump in and say that productivity shouldn't be quantified by lines of code. Because if you are just counting lines of code, then I'm sorry, you are a code monkey. Because you are only coding, there's no end in sight. It's like a civil engineer who only cares about kilometers of road or designs you've done. Are those designs being bought by someone who says, I'll pay for this job to be done? If your designs are still on your PC, then they will remain there. If your lines of code are still on your PC or on GitHub, they will remain there. You see, the software engineer should realize that we are part of businesses. It could be insurance, it could be banking, it could be remittance, it could be anything at all. Wachi. So a software engineer could work in Wachi. Now, productivity in that Wachi joint is people coming to buy the Wachi. And if somebody will not come because of your beard, then it is unproductive. And there are people who are like that, especially those who are not of the Gen Z or later generations. Some people have reservations about people who have beard. There are some other people who still today, every day they are shaving. So if that person is every day shaving, and you are going to meet him, or you are going to meet her, because a woman have beard and they are shaving every day, then imagine what the person thinks of you when you meet the person. So in the end, you are shooting yourself in the foot. It's not affecting the code you write, but the code you are writing isn't landing on someone's server that they are using. If it doesn't land, then they are not productive. Yeah.
That's right. What's about BDD?
What?
What's about BDD?
Braids.
You see, it becomes dicey. In this part of our world, culturally, largely, people are a bit skeptical about men who are braided. You see, and let me add that we are talking about Ghana. So, in case you are somewhere else not in Ghana, some of these things might not apply to you. But in Ghana, that thing is very, 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 very looked at. Or it raises a lot of flags for some people because it's largely conservative. People don't see dreads, if anything, on women. Even there are some women that even don't like dreads. You'll be surprised. They think it's bad hair or it's related to Rastafarianism or something or some religious implications and spiritual stuff. So, my question to you is, you want business to proceed so that you make a profit or you make your living. Why would you go and do a hair that prevents you from achieving that as a guy? Because I'm talking about it to the guys. For the ladies, if you lock your hair or you braid down there, but business already braiding, everybody's okay with that. But especially the guys, if you go and braid your hair, and now you go for a meeting with someone, they look at you, they talk, they never call you back. Okay. I can't be sure if it was a hair or not, but I would have gone with a clean shave like I have, without the braids. Maybe it is better.
But
Yes, continue.
most engineers would say that it's all about their output, the work output.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to the young engineers who, I don't know, I mean, look at the Western lifestyle and then, you know, leave their BS on Kent, do dreads and then, you know, that kind of engineering vibe. What advice do you have for them? I mean, taking your experience into account, do you think that when going for interviews, such things are actually looked at, or it's all about the work you can do? I mean, what you can do. Does dressing really play a role in, you know, you being selected after an interview?
That depends on who I'm interviewing. But I would say, you see, try to limit the things somebody can use against you. So if you just go the conservative route, I think you'll be fine. And the Western world we are even talking about, when they have serious meetings, conferences are not serious meetings. If I were to go to a conference in the US, for instance, on maybe Amazon conference, I'm not going to wear a suit to go there.
Yeah.
So why do you expect a person come to present to wear a suit? You want to be similar to us. But if I were to go and meet investors and they are there wearing suits, I will not wear t-shirt and go and meet them. And that's the same, which is why I brought up the instances where these CEOs went to meet Trump. And even Zuckerberg has gone to the Senate, they've asked him questions about Facebook and stuff. He went there, he was in a suit. He didn't wear t-shirt. All the senators there in suits. Not a single one of them wearing t-shirt. So you are going for an interview. You are going for an interview at a bank, and they are all wearing suits. You shouldn't dress like that. But if maybe you are going for an interview where they do wachi, or maybe where they sell food, they are going to help them with software, or maybe the dressing can be a bit different. But if you go in a suit, it's not bad, because you can never overdress, but you can underdress. You can never overdress, but you can underdress. That's a rule of thumb I have. So if you want to go somewhere, make a presentation, especially in Ghana, make sure you are looking good. It's not about always wearing a suit. Maybe you can wear what you are wearing, a nice shirt, trousers, with your shoes. When they are going there, they are wearing flip-flops. They are wearing some sandals that is half, it doesn't buckle. Yeah.
So would you say that it's the way most engineers dress? That's why it's giving them it's giving software engineering that kind of stereotype in relation to fraud or scamming?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because everybody, when they think of a scammer, he's in some singlet with his boxers, doing what he can, and he has to find this picture on the camera to hide his face. But if you can present yourself, I think you can set yourself apart from that. It's not as though that is a guarantee that if you wear a suit, you're not a scammer. If a scammer wears a suit, you're still a scammer.
Exactly.
Because following from that question, there is no stereotype about doctors dressing bad. When you imagine a doctor, well, what do you think? If they're wearing their scrubs, what are they wearing?
They're wearing an official attire.
But when the software engineers, when you think of them, they are dressed like that.
T-shirts and shorts.
Yeah, I'm not saying t-shirts and shorts is bad. I'm sure Zuckerberg would like to wear t-shirts and shorts all the time. But there are certain times where you do what is necessary, not what you want. Do what is necessary. Because there are sort of established protocols. If it happens that 50 years down the line, with Gen Z and the way things are going, we like shorts and can go to a board meeting in shorts.
I don't think that's that pure.
But if that happens, then it's fine to dress like that. But currently, as things stand, it's good to be presentable.
Yeah, I agree.
So to close, we are from a company, Grey Parrot, which is a bird-themed company. So there will be, every time at the end of this podcast, we'll put out a short trivia about birds. And so we are starting with a bird that starting with the bird whose name our company bears, which is the Grey Parrot. And the trivia here is that the Grey Parrot is the smartest bird species in the world. So amongst all the birds, it's of the parrot family. Amongst all the birds in the world, Grey Parrot is the smartest. And I think it said that it has the understanding or knowledge of about a toddler. So is that good? If you have a toddler, if you take care of a Grey Parrot, they could equally be as responsive and smart like a toddler is. Yeah. So that's an trivia to have. In addition, the grape variety is from West Africa, so that's why we chose it for our company name. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
So closing remarks.
Okay, so if you have any topics that you'd like us to talk about, you can leave it in the comment section.
Why do you laugh? I mean, it's a cool.
I mean, this is
closing
the
remark.
first time I'm doing it, so like, subscribe, leave it in the comments. So yeah, so leave it in the comment section, and please, engineers, take care of yourselves. The scent too, you also have to manage it. Yes. The scent.
The dressing is very, very important.
Yeah.
Make sure you smell good as well.
Exactly. You don't just have to look good, you have to smell good too.
Yeah. Don't follow the bunch. Stand out.
That's good.
Signing out.
Signing out for the same functions.
We are flying away.
We are flying away.